Hey yo, football fans, it's another great year. Fantasy football fiends, grab your beer. Giving you the best draft tips for all your picks. Starts and sits to the waiver wire fix. From mock drafts galore to stats that's hardcore. Triple F does it all, have y'all screaming more. So sit back, relax, let the experts prevail. JT Magnum, Siggy Guns never fail. Welcome back, Magnum Sports Network fans. My name is JT Magnum here along with Siggy Guns. Welcome back to Fantasy Football Fiends. We are going to be talking about our top 10 sleepers today. And we got some good ones for you. First of all, another thing real quick. We are doing standard, not PPR. So a lot of people get confused sometimes when they see the rankings and they're like, wait, what is this for? It's for standard scoring. If you have questions about PPR, feel free to ask us in the comment section, okay? So let's get right into it. Our number 10 through 6, I'll start off with Dwayne Allen, Kevin White, Terrell Pryor, Alex Smith, and Vance McDonald as my 6th guy. And I'll talk about Terrell Pryor. This is a guy who's been killing it right now in preseason. And if you remember a few years ago, Josh Gordon killed it in preseason for the Cleveland Browns. And I had him actually as one of my sleepers. I actually picked him up in my league as a sleeper late. People were like, who the heck is that? And he ended up killing it that year. That was the year he scored like all these crazy touchdowns. He had like, and he got like a bunch of catches for like, I think he almost led the NFL in yardage and catching that year. But Terrell Pryor is one of those guys who's converted quarterback, of course, as you know. Pretty much everybody slept on him, and he's been killing it in preseason. He's pretty much uncoverable. The guy's a mismatch nightmare. He's 6'4", 230 pounds. He almost ran a 4.2 at the combine. He is lightning fast, and he's just, people are just, I don't know if he's just figured it out, or if it's clicking, or if it's this offense, or if it's him with RG3, and RG3 throws a great deep ball, and maybe he's throwing really good, or he's built some kind of rapport with him. But Terrell Pryor is, for some reason, just figuring it out, and he is getting it right now. And I think he is a great sleeper if you want to add a late wide receiver pick that might actually get you maybe close to 1,000 yards and a few touchdowns. This guy might be the guy. He might even get over 1,000 yards, especially if Josh Gordon isn't back until what? I think he's suspended 4 games, and then he's coming back.
Yep.
This guy might be the man for the first 4 games, Coleman. And then after that. Because Josh Gordon,
Corey Coleman.
Oh yeah, Corey Coleman's coming as well, but I don't think he still is a rookie, and Terrell Pryor obviously right now is the starter, but and Corey Coleman probably most likely will start, but I just love Pryor's upside this year. Who's your 10 through 6?
It would be interesting because if it's Corey Coleman, who they drafted high and all that stuff or whatever, and let's say he's opposite Pryor, and Pryor is just killing it, Gordon coming back, I mean, is he assumed the other spot? I mean, do you think he's earned that right, or? I mean,
I think he'll probably
he's been in trouble for so long.
Most likely, I assume he'll take that spot. But then what I picture Corey Coleman as being still, he is still a rookie. I see him in the slot. That's most likely. And with that offense, I just see him more or less in the slot, and maybe he will be outside. Who knows? Maybe they'll trade Josh Gordon, but from what I've heard, they're not going to trade him, and I mean nobody's going to give him what they want for him. So I still think
Pryor would be better in the slot.
Pryor.
As far as speed and things like that.
Yeah, speed, yeah, but sometimes in the slot you need those shifty small receivers, it seems like.
Yeah, you do.
And Coleman's kind of a shorter
also, since
guy.
he is tall, you can go over the top, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting.
Definitely. Cleveland, I mean, who would have thought we're talking about Cleveland players for, again, for fantasy football. Last year, all we did was talk about their defense and how bad everybody that played them, we started their running back against them.
We haven't even touched Barnett, I mean, it looks like on paper they might be all right.
I know, on paper champions right now.
The paper champions.
So who's your 10 through 6?
My 10 through 6 is Tyler Lockett, Kevin White, Rashad Jennings, Matt Jones, and Kobe Fleener. And I'll go ahead and talk about Fleener. New Orleans, tight end. Obviously, we know Drew Brees loves his tight ends. Benjamin Watson, had one of the greatest seasons he's ever had still, because the tight end gets production from that offense or from Drew Brees. And Kobe Fleener, I remember me and you were always talking about, we thought with Andrew Luck from Stanford, they both played together, that he was going to, be the guy, and it just didn't work out. I don't know if it's health, because I know Fleener had some health issues. timing or obviously luck got hurt too, and I don't know, it just didn't work out. But I got a feeling though, Fleener healthy and in New Orleans, he's just due to have a great season. And also, even though Brandon Cooks is going to be the main man again, and with another year, he's going to have amazing stats like he did last year. You would think, though, somebody with that size and speed is not going to be a factor in the end zone as much unless he's breaking it, 40-plus yards and he happens to get it. So around the end zone, this is also a bigger target. I think Fleener's going to be that guy. And Benjamin Watson proved that last year. And I just think Fleener is poised for that, or, is made for that kind of role. So I could see him getting 10 touchdowns. And, nobody's picking him. I have him ranked as like third or fourth tight ends, and I did some fantasy drafts already. People are still picking Witten over him. They're still picking Gates over him. Nobody has faith in Fleener. I don't know if it's because
they forgot about
what they think of him in Indianapolis. I think
there also was a thing with Fleener. At one point, he fell in the depth chart. I don't know why. I don't know if it was for something he did or something like that, but for some reason he was like fourth on the depth chart at some point on New Orleans, and Josh Hill was actually number one at one point. From what I've seen, he's still the starter, but I'd have to check on that again. But I don't know if he did something bad or if something happened or whatever, but he fell to fourth at one point in the depth chart.
Maybe he punched Hill not just play. I think though. I think in the end when the season starts, because all these charts and preseason things, in the end, New Orleans signed him to play as their main tight end, and I got a feeling that he's just going to be the guy, and I think he's going to have a good season. I think this is somebody that's a sleeper, which is pretty hard to say. Somebody that should be ranked in a lot of, cheat sheets as a top 5 tight end as a sleeper. But yet here we are after seeing real time where people are drafting him. He's a sleeper.
Yeah, it's strange. I think people just scared to take the risk on him because they've drafted him high before, thinking he's going to do well with luck, and didn't. So who knows what it is? But I don't know. You're right though. New Orleans Saints tight ends just do well. So that's just whoever they plug in, it seems to do very well. Ben Watson. Ben Watson he's an athlete though. The dude was lightning quick and everything. He's no Jimmy Graham, but he was having a phenomenal season last year. But moving on. My top 5 are 5 Melvin Gordon, number 4 Robert Griffin III, RG3, number 3 Dorial Green Beckham, who was just traded, and 2 Rashad Jennings, and number 1 Dante Moncrief, coming back with Andrew Luck. And I'll talk about Dorial Green Beckham though. This guy was just traded to Philly. Now I don't know if he's going to end up being the starter. I just think why trade for him if he's not going to be a starter opposite Jordan Matthews. I think they got a nice little rookie that they picked up, but the guy is still a rookie. They want some big, tall receivers for Sam Bradford to throw to if Sam Bradford's even healthy now. But I know they're all a little bit banged up at quarterback. I think their number 1 pick, Carson Wentz, is down. He's probably not even going to play this year. I believe he's on IR, right? He's not even going to play this year, I believe. But still, you need a big target. They're a mess. I know they're a mess. That's another video. Basically, we can even talk about that. But they got a big guy, I believe he's 6'6" or 6'5". We talked about him in the past, how he's how his ability basically all this talk is all about ability with him. He has the tools to become a great wide receiver in this league, and I think now with being in Philly and being in that offense where they run a lot of wide receiver screens, they do a lot of different things with wide receivers. He'll be able to flourish in that as soon as he gets into the playbook. But the best thing about him is, and especially with Sam Bradford throws a nice touch pass, at least, especially those fade routes. And with him being 6'6", all you got to do is throw it up. The dude would just go up there and get it. So I see him being a high touchdown machine this year. And remember, like I said, this is standard scoring. So big touchdowns are what we want. And this guy, he may not get you 100 catches, 90 catches, or even 80 catches. He might get you 70 or 60 catches this year, but he might have double-digit touchdowns this year, just from fades alone and being in the red zone. So that's why I like Dorial Green Beckham's upside.
I can see it. Arian Foster, Melvin Gordon, Dante Moncrief, Golden Tate, and Kelvin Benjamin. And I'll go ahead and talk about Arian Foster. A lot of people are sleeping on him also. In fact, there was 2 drafts that I did where he was picked almost dead last among running backs. And I'm talking about from the likes of Gordon, from the likes of which another sleeper. I mean, nobody has faith in some of these guys because of what happened last year. Langford has been taking a head. What's his name from Miami? Actually, the running back that everybody's, I guess, high on. Jay Ajayi. What is it?
Yeah, Jay Ajayi.
Jay Ajayi. Look, at Foster when healthy is a great running back, and if he's healthy, which we'll find out actually here this week with the rehearsal game, I don't see him losing touches to Ajayi, and even if he is number 2 on the depth chart, it's only going to be a matter of time before everybody realizes that he still has it. I mean, this is somebody that he hasn't. Whenever he does play, he's awesome. It's not like he's been slow or, how people have the breakdown like let's say Ray Rice. Before all the stuff happened with him, he was starting to slow down big time. He didn't have that. He was still somebody that you could plug right there in the goal line, and he was going to get that touchdown. So I see him, with a great fit actually in Miami's offense because they actually been running. When they finally, all the Dolphin fans wanted Lamar Miller to get the ball, and he finally did, and he showed that he could do good. And I think Arian Foster is even better than him. So I think with the system, I think with Tannehill having better weapons, obviously Jarvis Landry, Devontae Parker, etc. Miami is actually looking in Jordan Cameron. They got the coach now that actually would throw the tight ends. Cameron might actually be somebody that's a sleeper also. But I just think that Arian Foster has a really good chance here to be right back at it, an elite running back. I mean, even last year, I think everybody drafted him pretty high, right? So this isn't somebody that's just Frank Gore level, which I think people are drafting him over him. So I think Foster is in for a surprise. And I wouldn't be surprised. That's the funny thing. If he winds up getting 1,200 rushing yards and 13 touchdowns, I'm not surprised, but it seems like everybody else will be, so I have to put him as a sleeper for that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that wraps it up for Fantasy Football Fiends Top 10 Sleepers. Don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section. If you have any sleepers that you want to discuss, feel free to put it right in there. We're not always 100% correct when it comes to fantasy football, nor is anybody, but we love to hear everybody else's thoughts, everybody else's comments, and what everybody else thinks, not just on ours, but on their own picks, because we are drafting. We will be drafting. We take things into consideration, so you never know. We're here to help each other. So
yes,
stay tuned for some more videos, and that's it. Anything you want to say before we leave?
No, good luck with the sleepers. I know there's a lot of we should touch up on some of them also, but we'll go ahead and get those in future videos in regards to we'll get Kevin Benjamin and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. So for Fantasy Football Fiends, JT Magnum and Sicky Guns, we out. Peace.